Today I'm going to show you around the Longfellow community of Minneapolis. Longfellow got its name from a famous poet named Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. His favorite poem, the Song of Hiawatha, incorporated tales from the Dakota Native American tribe. Longfellow consists of smaller neighborhoods including Longfellow, Howe, Seward, Cooper, and Hiawatha. The eastern border runs along the Mississippi River, the northern border runs along Highway 94, and the western border runs along Highway 55 or Hiawatha Avenue. I like Longfellow a lot because I just feel like it has a lot of character with all the murals and paintings everywhere, all the really small unique stores that are spread throughout. It's got a lot of really cool architecture. They also host some cool events like the Longfellow Roots Rock and Deep Blues Festival, I think it's called. There are miles of parkland and hiking and biking trails, and I feel like I say this about a lot of neighborhoods and suburbs, but South Minneapolis has a ton. Minnehaha Park is one of Minneapolis's oldest and most popular parks, and that's in the Longfellow community. It's like 193 acres and it has a 53-foot waterfall. Close to Minnehaha Park, you have Longfellow Gardens, which is super beautiful in the summer. And normally there are some parking spots over there, which are free by the way. So if you don't mind walking a little bit, go ahead and park over there. Like pretty much every neighborhood in Minneapolis, it's gonna have that place that's called Wheel Fun Rentals. But there you can only get those 4-person bikes or the 3-wheelers because there's nowhere to take out a kayak or canoe or paddleboard. It's mostly just for like picnics and stuff and looking at the falls and walking around. If you do want to take a kayak or canoe, there's Lake Nokomis that's just across Highway 55. So if you do want to get on a lake, just hop on over there. Minnehaha Park is definitely one of the most beautiful parks, but it's also one of the busiest. It's nice that it's really spread out, and it actually even has like 2 levels. So the top level, which gives you a top-down view of the waterfall, is really spread out, and there's like picnic tables and gazebos, and I mean you can just pretty much plop down a blanket on a random patch of grass if you wanted to. At that top level, you also have Sea Salt Eatery, and I think their seafood's really good. It's not like, wow, it's out of this world, but it is really good, and it's really nice to be able to just chill and eat outside, and then you can people watch and just look at the park. My friends have had many birthday parties in Minnehaha Park where you're just like grilling and dancing, and it's always a super good time. You can also walk to the second level of the park, which will bring you to the bottom of the falls. And there are a few trails down there, but it's really cute because you can just like start to walk down by the creek, and then you walk over these cute little bridges, and that takes you all the way to the bottom. It's awesome. During the winter, that entire 53-foot waterfall freezes, and hypothetically, if you were to jump over the fence that says no trespassing, you could walk behind the frozen falls. That's really cool. But don't do that because that's against the rules. If you want to take your dog out on a little doggy date, this is the perfect area to do it in. A lot of Minneapolis is going to do it in, but this area is like especially good. You can spend the whole day at Minnehaha Park and check out the falls, and your dog does need to be on their leash, but if you're like, hey, screw the leash, you can just go to Minnehaha Dog Park, and as soon as you get through the gate, you're free to let them off leash. The trail leads down to the Mississippi River, and there's a few benches down there so you can like just sit and watch your dog play with other dogs and be happy. After you have a day at the dog park, then you can head over to Howe Daily Kitchen. You can get your dog like a drink. It's like they call it a brew, but it's this beef flavored drink, and they have turkey mutt loaf and pig's ears, and then they have peanut butter cup treats. I mean, a whole freaking menu. It's adorable. Your dog can have a whole 4-course meal. And they even have a heated dog patio, so you can bring your friend with you all year round and just make the winter a little bit less shitty. They obviously have human food as well, and if you are a vegan or you have a vegan in your group, it's nice because they have a good amount of vegan options. They have vegan nachos, veggie burgers, and they even have a vegan Juicy Lucy. I haven't tried it, so I'm not gonna claim that it's good, but it's the only place I've ever heard of that has a vegan Juicy Lucy. And obviously, pretty much anywhere is gonna have alcoholic drinks, but the nice thing about Howe is that it also has any drinks like sparkling Chardonnay, and they have a rosé, and they even make non-alcoholic mimosas. So if you're a non-drinker and you still want to go out with your friends and have fun, you can have a mimosa and not feel left out. You'll find that I get really excited about any drinks because it's nice to go out and have a drink without drinking. You can bring pets, drinkers and non-drinkers, meat eaters and vegans and vegetarians all together in one place. The Urban Forage and Wine Shop is another cool place in Longfellow. They pick cherries and pears and apples from local residents' yards and orchards, with permission of course, and then they go ahead and make natural ciders and wines from it. Most of the work is done by hand or with these really small machines, and although they're not certified organic, they do get most of their fruits from unsprayed yards and orchards. Apparently they use steel casks and oak barrels and don't take those chemical shortcuts. If you're into books, especially unique books, you'll love Moon Palace Books. It's on the Minnehaha Mile, and that's a bike-friendly retail street that has like all these retro and vintagey shops. There's a cute little store called Paris, and it has its little antiques and jewelry. There's Heroic Games on that street. There's a store called Awakenings, and that just has all this like metaphysical stuff. So if you're into like the tarot cards and the crystals and all that kind of stuff, you'll love it. I'm not really into that, but if you are, it'll be a good time for you. There's a bunch of really cool random stores on that street. As far as transportation goes, the Twin Cities are behind when it comes to public transportation, but you do have access to the light rail because it goes all the way down Hiawatha, and of course you have access to buses. But if you are visiting or you want to move here, I'd recommend getting around by car or by bike in the right season. The Greenway, which is a really well-known bike trail that actually takes you all the way to South Minneapolis in the Chain of Lakes area. That actually starts in the Longfellow community. The bus routes and light rails make it super easy to get to downtown or the airport or the Mall of America. You'll find one of my favorite music venues in Longfellow, and that's called the Cabooze. Although I don't go there much anymore because they don't have a whole lot of electronic music shows, and that's one of my preference, but I used to love that venue. It was always a good time there, and got a biker bar just right next door called The Joint. When I was like 19 or 20, a long time ago, I was at the Cabooze and I was gonna go see Big Gigantic. And at the time, I loved Big Gigantic, but while we were waiting in line, the bouncer comes out and starts yelling that the show is sold out, and he crushed my dreams, but I wasn't going down without a fight. I think I was meant to go to that show because my friends and I started kind of walking around the venue, and we just so happened to see a hole in the chain link fence that led to the 21 plus smoking area. So we went in there, and needless to say, I didn't get caught and I was able to see my show. But for the record, I was willing to pay, I just got desperate. As far as schools, South Senior High gets a B+ according to niche.com, but as I'm always going to say in my videos, please check out the website for yourself because it's graded on a bunch of different criteria, and some might be more important to you than others. Greatschools.org is another good resource for you as well. As for real estate in Longfellow, you're going to find a lot of unique craftsman style homes, and these homes are going to be a bit older because most of them were built before 1939. The median home price in Longfellow is actually lower than the Twin Cities as a whole. The total Twin Cities is $365,000, and Longfellow is actually $345,000. To give you a better idea, from February 2022 to February 2023, about 30% of the homes sold for under $300,000, 54% sold from $300,000 to $500,000, 11% sold for $500,000 to $800,000, and only 6% sold for over $800,000. I'm just gonna note something random about Minneapolis, and that's that a lot of the homes only have one bathroom. Mostly the older homes, you'll find that even if they have 3 or 4 bedrooms, it still only has one bathroom because when they were built, it just wasn't efficient or cost effective to have more than one bathroom in a house. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have learned a little bit more about the Longfellow community. And as always, if you're planning on making a move to the Twin Cities, please reach out to me. I would love to help, and all my information is in the description box below. Thanks so much.